Hello, Jim Milady from Coldwell Banker. Milady Realtors here up in the North Woods. Today I'm going to talk about a really touchy subject, and that's property taxes. What fun. I'll get you a link, and I'll show that to you in a little bit, with the Department of Revenue, because they actually have a very nice piece if you want to learn more about taxes, property taxes, and how Wisconsin works. I'll give you a brief overview, though. Wisconsin property taxes are higher than most states, but we are lower than our neighboring states, which is weird. I never thought Wisconsin would be a property tax island or something like that. We're not. We're higher than most states. Here in the Northwoods, property taxes are in the area about $10 a thousand. So if you have a $100,000 house, expect to pay around $1,000. If you have a $200,000 house, expect to be paying $2,000 to $2,500. That type of thing. $400,000 house, $4,000-ish is probably what you'd be paying in property taxes. Where does the money go? Mostly to the local school district is where in the area about 65% goes to the local school district. Some of it goes to our local community college, Nicolet College down in Rhinelander. Some of it goes to the county, Vilas County or Oneida County or Iron County for their operations in terms of keeping the roads in good shape, winter, or building roads, these sorts of things. Some of it goes to our townships or our City of Eagle River, City of Rhinelander, and that again goes for road maintenance, taking care of things, building. We don't build a lot of community centers or that kind of stuff here, but some of it does go to the town. But the vast majority of property taxes in this area go toward the school. A note about the schools: we are fortunate or unfortunate, depending on your thing, in that we get very little in the way of state aid. Take the Northland Pines School. I was on the school board there for many years. We got like $0 for the construction of that. It was a $28 million building. It's all paid for now. But we got the zero for Madison because we are considered a property-rich district. Lucky us. Property-rich districts. And some areas, say downstate or Wausau, these type of things, they'll get anywhere from 30% to 60% funding for the building of schools. And then we don't get much in the way of operations either. We get some for ADA and these sorts of things. But even that money is very low, less than, say, we're a $20 million district here in terms of our operating costs. We would get less than $2.5 million, roughly, 10%, maybe 15% in a good year from state and federal sources. Everything else comes out of your property taxes. Now we get to the part that you care about: how your property tax is determined. Taxes in Wisconsin are actually drawn in arrears. So the property tax bill that you get in December is for the previous year. So right now it is the end of December 2023. The property tax bill that you have is for the previous 12 months. It's not for the next 12 months. It's for the past, and they call that in arrears. How is this calculated? This is always the hard part. How are the property taxes calculated? It's based upon your fair market value, which then creates something called an assessed value. And how does that all work? That's where the Department of Revenue comes in. And I'll tell you a little bit about budgeting first. What happens here is that you actually have the cities, the towns, the counties, Nicolet College, school districts all come up with a budget. It's all due like November 1st of this past year, November 1st, and they all present how much money they can actually spend on things. They work this, and they all give it to the county treasurer, and they give it to the towns, and then the towns actually calculate what they think from their assessor what the total value of the property is in the town. And then they take the dollars that they have to spend, and they add up all of the town monies, county monies, Nicolet monies, school district monies, add those all up, and then they compare that with the total value of the assessed value of the property, and they divide that out, and they come up with a millage rate, and we call it the mill rate. And that's how your tax bill is actually determined. What you care about right now is how come my assessed value and my fair market value went through the roof. Well, in Wisconsin, your property taxes are based upon the assessed value, as I said before, but the assessed value is supposed to be, and the fair market values are supposed to be some close representation of what the property would sell for. So if you have, say, a $400,000 house and your taxes went from $200,000 to $400,000, not unusual. It's fairly typical right now. Well, how can that happen in 1 year? Well, we all know it didn't happen in 1 year. It happened over really about 3 or 4 years, to be honest with you. But they just socked it to you this year is what they did. Now, I will tell you ways in which you can actually fight this, but I'm going to do that in another screen. So bear with me, because I'm going to actually bring up my tax bill next, and I'm going to give you ways in which that you can try to negotiate a more realistic value if you feel that you're being overtaxed or you feel that your assessed value is out of line. Now here's a copy of my own property tax bill. It has my name up in the upper right corner with my wife. And also it shows a parcel number. In this case, it's 14-1972-19. By the way, all this stuff is available online, so I'm not giving away anything that you couldn't pull up online yourself. Bill number 44877. It gives the address in the upper right corner to 1055 Tyson Road. It gives you the section township range. It gives you a brief description of the property. And then as you go down the page, starting in the lower left corner, it'll show the assessed value, the assessed value of the improvements, and the total assessed value. And then underneath that, there'll be the estimated fair market value of the improvements, and the total estimated fair market value. It shows you a breakdown of where things go, and I'll talk about that in a second. The one thing I will say about my assessed value and fair market value is my assessed value in 22 was $580,300, and my assessed value this year is $977,900. That's an increase of 67%. Ouch. But my taxes went up only by 13%. That's because the mill rate went down. That drop in the mill rate, by the way, is fairly typical, and we have a big jump in values. Like, we just went through the biggest change in real estate history here in the Northwoods, and the country for that matter. You will see not a necessarily an equal drop in the mill rate, but you will see a drop, and that's what we saw here. Breakdown of where the money goes is that I said before, the school districts are usually the big ones that take the most money. In this case, not as much as I anticipated. 52% of the tax bills going to Northland Pines schools over here. This is the Eagle River, eastern side of Vilas County. Vilas County comes in second place with 25%. Town of Lincoln, I live in a low tax town called the Town of Lincoln, is 19%, followed by Nicolet Technical College, and that's around 2%. Now, if you want to argue that your taxes are too high, you just don't go into your assessor, your town board, and just say, my taxes are way too high. You have to prepare for them. You have to gather info, maybe look up the neighbor's tax data and see if it's similar to yours, is what I would suggest. And then go on the online, or talk to your friendly local realtor and ask that person to sit there and take a look for you of what some sales are, and go in there armed with that information. The actual process of challenging your tax assessment, then, first step I would do is obviously prepare. The second step is going to be contact your assessor and see what they can do to help you out. There is something in Wisconsin called Open Book, where you get to look at all of your neighbors and all of your township's taxes, and that's state law. They're supposed to have that. And then there's also something called the Board of Review, and you can attend that, is what you can do. But the first step is contact your assessor after you have that information. And most assessors are pretty realistic. If you go in not with the attitude, my taxes are too high, I'm going to come in unprepared and just argue at them, that's not good. But if you come in with good comparables, good sold properties, neighbors' assessed value is much lower, or a property down the street that's similar to yours, their tax bill is much less. Why is that? I'd like to know. And then the actual process is contact the assessor. Hopefully they'll cooperate. If they don't, then you can go to open book and you actually talk to your town board. And then there's also something called, if you don't get any satisfaction there, the third step is going to be the board review. I promised you earlier in the presentation that I'd give you a website. Here's a QR code if you want to scan that, or if you want to do it the old-fashioned way with the URL underneath. That's a guide from the Wisconsin Department of Revenue. It's a guide for property owners. It talks about how assessed values, how mill rates are all created. It also gives you how to challenge your assessed values. It's a very good publication. If we can be of any help, please let us know. Coldwell Banker, Milady Realtors of the North Woods of Wisconsin. Thanks. Bye.